Hello guys, my name is Philip, and today I want to talk about something that I should have talked about much earlier. That is actually the reason why I'm doing NoFap, my personal whys. Um, and since I'm doing this in such a high streak, I'm doing this so late, I feel like I should do a sort of expectations versus reality video where I sort of compare what I was expecting and why I did this to what's actually happening. And also I want to mention some sort of unexpected things in this video, because there were some benefits that I've gotten from NoFap that were completely unexpected, and therefore I'd say definitely not placebo. Because if you don't expect something, you won't really get the placebo effect from it. But anyways, I feel like this is actually relevant now since I got my chef certificate quite recently, or well, it's close to a month ago now, but still quite recent. Because the first reason I want to mention why I did NoFap is actually because I was a shitty apprentice. That's right, I kind of sucked. And it wasn't that I wasn't working hard. I was working really hard. I was working extra hours all the time. I was very sort of dedicated to the job. I was willing to work hard in order to, get some satisfactory results in what I was making, things like that. But I didn't have the extra. I didn't have the extra curiosity. I didn't have the extra willingness to actually learn how to cook, learn how to be creative on my own, be creative with my own cooking. I didn't have that sort of extra curiosity, that extra push to really become a good chef. All I wanted to do really was just to work hard and do my job, and that was it. So in that sense, I was quite a shitty apprentice, to be completely honest. And that was one of the biggest reasons I did NoFap, was because I wanted that sort of extra energy and that extra sort of mental energy to actually, after working so hard, have more energy, have more to give, have more sort of passion after 12 hours of work every day. Just even after that, be able to really try to push further. And I was a shitty apprentice for so long, and I really sort of woke up a little bit too late. And I have to say, still to this day, I'm not really that much of a good chef, to be completely honest. I have a lot to improve on. But I do feel that I'm waking up, and NoFap is helping me a lot to do that, because I'm much more focused now when I work, and I'm a bit faster too, like I push more. So NoFap has really woken me up when it comes to work. That was one of the biggest reasons I did NoFap. Another thing was female attraction. Of course, I think a lot of people are going to mention this one. Or a lot of people who have been in my kind of situation before NoFap, being sort of a loser, being really shy around girls, being really shy in general in social situations. I wanted to be more attractive to women, and honestly, guys, I wanted to get laid more. To be completely honest, like I wanted to get more pussy. Another thing, that's really the two biggest reasons I did NoFap, was female attraction and being better at work. Yeah, also another thing, I wanted to be more relaxed about sex. I wanted a more relaxed attitude about sex. I noticed that I was thinking too much about sex. I was putting too much of my mental energy, that is my focus. I was putting too much of my focus into sort of envy, really, just this sort of jealousy that other people got more laid than me, which is just stupid. And I sort of realized I was stupid, and therefore I started doing NoFap because I thought it would help me be more relaxed about sex and not really overthink it, not be too jealous of people who fuck more than I do. Yeah, that's really the biggest reason. Also, social anxiety was a thing, but that sort of goes into the two past things that I mentioned. Female attraction, like I wanted to break the sort of barrier between me and my surroundings. I wanted to really just get better at socializing, get better at blending in to the people, really, sort of just socializing, just thinking fast in conversations, you know, being more interesting in conversations, being able to ask questions, being able to answer questions good, and just be better in social situations and also less anxious in social situations. So that was my reasons to do it, and also my expectations. Now, what happened in reality compared to what I thought would happen? Well, I mentioned the thing about being a shitty apprentice. That did help. NoFap did help a little bit. I'll be honest and say it didn't help that much, really. NoFap itself didn't help that much. I realized that I couldn't just stop masturbating and expect something magical to happen and expect myself to just be a better chef because I don't jack off. I sort of realized at around the time that I made the Your Focus video, I think that was like day 67, I sort of realized around that time that this is really stupid. I should push more, really, outside of just not masturbating. I should work out harder, just push harder in everything, just sort of wake up earlier, spend less time playing video games, watching TV, watching stupid things on YouTube, spend less time on Facebook, things like that. Just it's much more than just not masturbating. I have to sort of dedicate my life into focusing at work and trying to be productive with that, and also focusing on, you know, reading recipes that are not from the restaurant that I work at, and sort of get a wider perspective on the restaurant industry. So yeah, NoFap sort of give me that little nudge, this little motivation to push more, but like not masturbating itself, it didn't do much for me, to be completely honest. What was the next thing I mentioned? Yeah, female attraction. I do notice a little bit more female attraction, but there was this sort of superficial expectation that I had, and I have to admit now, afterwards, that I sort of had this expectation that women would just fall for me. Like, I don't know, I just had these weird expectations that, you know, since I would be like the only person out of a lot of people who would not masturbate, I would just be better than all the other guys, and I would just get all the pussy. Like, I had this weird expectation that it would be sort of that thing happening. I realized now that was really cocky, that was really fucking stupid, and no, that didn't happen at all. I noticed a slight increase in women's attraction to me. I noticed that they look at me in a better way, but it's not the sort of feeling I get that, you know, once they look into my eyes, their vaginas get wet. It's not that thing, it's just they are more comfortable around me. I can notice that women are more comfortable around me now than they used to be. And I'm also more comfortable around them. Which brings me to the next thing, which was having a more relaxed attitude about sex. That definitely happened. Definitely. That was probably the biggest thing that like actually happened. Right now, I don't really think too much about it. To be completely honest, I think about sex every morning. Like every morning when I wake up, the first thing I think about is sex. I think that's just kind of natural, but it's not in that sort of jealous, sort of grieving way that, oh my god, I'm not getting laid enough. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's actually kind of nice. Like, I don't know, call me weird, but it's just kind of nice to think about it now. It's like, I'm trying not to think about it too much because I don't want to spiral down into arousal addiction. I don't want to relapse or anything like that. I think there's other things that are much more productive to focus on than sex. So therefore I'm not trying to focus too much about sex, but it sort of just automatically happens every morning that I think about sex every morning. And when I do, it's not that sort of grievance, it's not that sort of envy that I have anymore. Which is actually really nice. It's extremely nice, and it's actually doing a great impact on my happiness, which also brings me to another thing that I forgot to mention. A big reason why I did NoFap was I wanted to be more happy, but that sort of goes into all of the other reasons. It's the sort of whole thing, like the whole thing was I wanted to be more happy as a whole. And all of these things put together, yes, did make me much more happy. I sort of mentioned this in my 62 Days Without Porn video, where I talked about my meltdowns that I had. I sort of, every now and then I would just sort of break down and cry after work or anything. After a hard day of work, I would just fucking kick and scream and cry. Honestly, I did that. Like a fucking baby, right? I was extremely unhappy. Like every now and then, it was kind of this weird sort of bipolar shit that was going on. Like just every now and then, I was just deeply unhappy, and I just cried and I cried for hours sometimes. That doesn't happen anymore. It hasn't happened since I started NoFap. Not even close. Like I'm just a much happier person now. Now, what was the last thing I mentioned? I mentioned more relaxed about sex, energy. Yeah, social anxiety. All right, let's get to that. Yeah, that has decreased a lot. Social anxiety has decreased, but that's also one of those things where NoFap itself is not gonna help you. Like, just not jerking off, it's not gonna help you for your social anxiety. You have to actually do this extra push, and this is really difficult. And I know it's really difficult, and it's really difficult for me even now in day 124. It's extremely hard to actually just do these weird things, to trip and faceplant and say to a woman that I fell for her, to even just make eye contact with random people on the street and say hi to them. It's extremely hard, I have to admit. Like, I don't even know why, it's so difficult to do. So difficult to just set yourself in this state where, okay, they're gonna think of me as a total fucking weirdo, but I'm gonna try not to care at all. That's extremely hard. Even now, in day 124 in NoFap, it's difficult, man. But yeah, social anxiety, it did work, but it's sort of also one of those things, like I mentioned, about being a shitty apprentice. NoFap itself didn't help. Like, you have to do these weird things. You have to make eye contact with random people on the street. You have to just get out of your comfort zone socially every now and then just sort of slowly level up. And then at some point, I don't know, it hasn't happened to me yet, but at some point, I guess, you'll have zero social anxiety. You can just talk to anyone, which is the ultimate goal, because that is really what for me NoFap is right now, when I'm on day 124 and not before I started NoFap. But right now for me, NoFap, more than anything else, it's about liberation. Really, it's about mental liberation, and by that I mean not being chained to fear. I sort of mentioned that in the, like, when I was holding this frog, day 111. how I'm less afraid of like insects and reptiles and things like that. I can just, I don't know, like some big like moths still freak me out, kind of, but it's not the same fear. It's not like if there's a moth that's kind of big in the same room as me, I totally freak out. It's not that kind of thing. So I want to get to a point where I'm not afraid of these irrational things. You know, I'm not afraid of stupid shit like frogs. I'm not afraid of social situations. I'm not afraid of incredibly hot women. You know, they tend to scare you in kind of way that you're just sort of intimidated by their beauty, right? It happens. I don't want to be afraid of that anymore. I don't want to be afraid of anything. Also, I want to not be addicted to anything, which at this point I have to say I'm probably not addicted to anything at all. I can't mention one thing that I'm addicted to. Like, no, not really. Like, it's actually kind of nice. That's one of the things that I've sort of completed. I can like check that off now. I'm not addicted to anything. Like, I never get this feeling like, oh, I haven't been drunk in a week. Shit. Like, I don't get that anymore. I don't. No, obviously I'm not addicted to masturbating because I haven't been doing it in 124 years. That wouldn't even have been possible if I was still addicted to it. However, I still think about it. Urges still come. So that's kind of, you know. Not addicted to alcohol. Obviously not addicted to LSD or anything like that. I have taken it in my past. I am gonna take it again, but it's not an addicted sort of thing. I'm not addicted to this psychedelic paradise, you know. I'm not really doing these drugs to escape. I'm doing these drugs to learn more about myself. And I know it's really hard for a lot of you guys to understand, because you've always been told that all drugs that are illegal are just bad. It's just bad. As a matter of fact, if you do psychedelics responsibly and with the right attitude and in the right setting, you're gonna have a hell of a learning experience. You're gonna learn more about yourself than you would be able to do in a lifetime. But well, I'm not gonna go on this sort of anti-drug war rant right now. This video is about NoFap. I just wanted to say I'm not addicted to any drugs. I'm not addicted to alcohol, which is also a drug, so it kind of goes in that same category. But people don't think of it. People don't think of it the same way because it's not illegal. Also, I'm not addicted to coffee. I have to admit now, in hindsight, that I was actually addicted to coffee at some point. Like, I needed that cup of coffee every day at work to get me that extra push of energy. I actually needed that. And I've gotten rid of that addiction, which is also really nice. Coffee addiction is a very real thing. People underestimate it so much. Caffeine is terrible. And so, yeah. No, I'm not addicted to anything. I still sometimes drink. To be completely honest, I don't even know why I do it. I've pretty much just stopped drinking right now. I got drunk a couple of times in Copenhagen. Apart from that, I haven't been drunk almost for as long as I've been doing NoFap. Like, I don't really drink anymore. So, yeah, it's really just mental liberation. That's the biggest thing right now. And also, the last thing I want to mention is the unexpected effects. Now, there's really just one that comes in mind, to be completely honest, and that is the sensitivity that I have. That was unexpected. I've talked about this before, how it feels like I'm on MDMA or something. It's just like, I feel more. Everything I touch, it just feels like, it feels more real. I have more sensitivity. I feel everything. Especially like, when I give people hugs, it just feels really nice. I really like hugs. I wish that people would just hug each other more. I know I sound like such a hippie saying that, but goddamn, I love hugs. And just, you know, things like that, things that already are comfortable, that already was comfortable before I started NoFap, things like that, now they just feel amazing. Walking barefoot in grass feels amazing. Moving my hand through sand feels amazing. Giving and receiving hugs feels amazing. Any physical contact with another human being, it doesn't have to be a woman, it could just be anyone. It just feels so much better. It's like, it's the connection. Feels so much more real. And that's how it's supposed to be. Like, that's how it's supposed to feel, I guess. Now I just sort of realized that. It's just like, I'm not supposed to be fucking desensitized. I'm supposed to feel this. Human beings, I think we're supposed to have this good relationship with nature. This feeling like to just touch a tree just feels nice, and we're supposed to have this appreciation of nature, this appreciation of the beauty around us. We're supposed to have this, because if not, what would be the purpose to live? Why would nature have it so, or nature or God or whatever you believe in? Why would it be so that human beings got put on a planet that looks like this, and then through evolution we've just come so far now? We've come so incredibly far. What have motivated us? Like, why are we here? It's gotta be a sort of purpose to live that we have, isn't it? And if we really despised the earth, like if we really hated, since, you know, the first fucking Homo sapiens, if we always just hated the world around us, we would just die, wouldn't we? It's kind of funny how it is. And, you know, I don't want to go too far and think that we shouldn't live in houses because the houses are made of trees and trees are beautiful. All I'm saying is, we're supposed to appreciate the planet that's around us. We're supposed to appreciate this, because that's why we're here, actually. Like, if we really despised the place that we were put by a coincidence, by nature, by Big Bang, by God, by Shiva, by whoever you want to believe in. If we really truly despised the place that we were put in, then, like, we wouldn't exist at this point. People would just they would commit collective suicide, and there would be no more human race. So I sort of feel like, when I feel this good about just being here, like being in spots like this, and just seeing the world around me as beautiful as it is, I try to sort of think of myself, well, why? Why is it so beautiful? Why is it like this? Well, because the human race has come so far now that it's just, you know, we've lived in this earth, this planet, for so long that it would be strange if we didn't like it. Like, it wouldn't make sense. So yeah, I feel like I'm supposed to feel. Actually, that's the bottom line. Like, that's actually the whole message of this video. I feel the way I'm supposed to feel. And so that was my sort of expectations versus reality / how I am right now, where I'm at. I'm at a beautiful place mentally right now. That's pretty much where I am. And yeah, I hope you guys found this video I'm losing my words right now, sorry guys. Informational. I hope you guys I'm gonna try again, fuck. I hope you guys found my information valuable. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.